So Sea of Stars sucks cocks.
Oh, really?
I actually no, it's I want to it's not that bad. There's just I don't know the word for it. We said the other day, it has a good middle, which I find very strange in gaming.
Yeah, it's usually this is all bad, honestly.
Yeah. It's usually all bad or a bad ending. A bad ending really irks me, and this one, boy, did it have a bad ending.
Yeah, that's why I hate Final Fantasy 13 too. It ended with "to be continued." I almost threw
No,
my
that's
controller
a
on my
good
TV.
ending, dude. That's what they do in Halo 2 as well. You're like, you finally get onto the giant alien spaceship, and then they go, your commander or whatever comes on. He goes, "Chief, mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?" And he goes, "Sir, finishing this fight." And then he rolls credits.
I
I was like, hell yeah, dude. I love this.
love when you get to finish the fight.
Dude, the finishing the fight was sick, but I wish I wouldn't have got a fucking cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, finishing the fight sounds like the best part, and they were just like,
Yeah.
"Yeah,
Like
just
say
imagine
that and
that."
then yeah. But this is far worse. The ending they do in Sea of Stars is far worse. But let's start from the beginning because they do something I really love in the beginning, followed by something I really hate. The game starts with almost no exposition. Your two characters run out into a field and you start getting into fights. And you're like, oh, they give you the intro fights by just random fights and you can figure it out with a couple shitty enemies. Great. Psych. 10 seconds later, you go to a campfire and you have like a 40-minute flashback scene where they painfully make you go through all the tutorials.
Yeah, that was painful.
And on top of the flashback scene being like super long, it's filled with the worst type of exposition where it's just like there was like whole scene. Obviously they're not like cutscenes, you still have to like move your character from room to room, but it's not real gameplay. It's even worse. I wish it just were a cutscene the whole time and I could just watch it, because you'll be at the start of a map, and the your teacher goes, "Meet me over near the dormitory," and then you have to walk up one room and right one room, but you don't know where the dormitory is, so you walk left first, you go, "This isn't it." You walk up first, you
Oh
go, "This
God.
isn't it," and then you walk into the right room and he goes, "Oh, I'm glad you're here, time to get started," and then it fades to black and then it shows a scene where you don't control yourself and it's just them talking and shit, and then it does it again, and then you walk to the other thing, and so it did this for 40 minutes where it's like they would go to sleep and it'd fade to black, and it'd wake up, and he kept doing this thing where like literally a text message would pop on screen and it would say, "And so on the next day," and I was like, I can't believe they're doing this
Oh God.
after such a good start. They like trickle it in through that, and then it gets really good again. So you go through this shitty ass cutscene, they give you back your characters, and then you just have three characters for a very long time. It's the main character, Valir, Zale, and Garl, which are all horrible names, but you have them, and then you play the game for like 15 hours. Like legit. It's just very little storytelling. You move from location to location. There's like fun areas to explore. The treasures are neat. It's really well balanced. There was times in this early section where I was like fighting random mobs, and if I wasn't like paying attention, they would kill me. I died to like random mobs a couple of times, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is like fun and challenging and interesting." Um, and so that part rules. And this is where I'm like torn on the game, because that I would say I did the true ending, and it was about 26, 28, 30 hour playthrough. I can't remember. So I'm saying like the first intro sucks, and then the first half of the game is pretty good. I was really enjoying it, and like I was like, yeah, this rules. And then they fucking throw it all away in horrible fashion. I honestly can't believe what was going through their heads. So I
All
think
right,
you
well,
saw. Go ahead.
let's talk about what's good about the game.
Okay, yeah.
So they take a lot of inspiration from really good RPGs, and I think this is like this serves. I'm gonna pair this in with what's wrong with the games real quick.
Okay.
So they take things from Super Mario RPG. There's like timed hits. You can, if people remember Super Mario RPG, you could press the A button when you get attacked with a physical attack, and you'd like block it, and you take a lot less damage. They have that, and they have some kind of context in, input for every attack in the game. Basically, it's
Yeah.
pretty dope. You can, it's like an active old school RPG in the way that no one has done that since Super Mario RPG. Really,
Yeah.
it takes some things from Chrono Trigger, they take a bunch of good things from a bunch of games, and then it also seems like they also take all the flaws of old RPGs,
Yeah.
like tons of exposition, insane storyline that doesn't make any sense and who cares, and a weird end game that's like too long,
Yeah.
and they 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 just took it wholesale from old school RPGs. They're
Well,
like, let's
not
make an old
only
school
that,
RPG today.
you're so right. Where they did take it like wholesale from the old school ones, and what I came to realize was that pretty much everything that was good about the game was when they honed in on the stuff they stole, and everything that was bad was when they tried to tread new ground. All of their unique ideas were really poorly implemented, and everything that was good was just stuff that they took. And then there's also stuff that they took that they didn't do well, and I'll talk about that before. There's like direct comparisons to story beats from the other game. It's pretty much, I don't understand how they didn't get more people saying like this is a ripoff, because it's ripping off like 5 games at once.
Yeah, well, I think that was part of their marketing because there was a Kickstarter game, evidently,
Yeah.
as we found out. Uh, but since it's a Kickstarter game, they were like, we're going to make a game that's like these games to try to get people that like those games to get on board, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't follow their Kickstarter campaign myself, but this is how I imagine the marketing must work,
That's how all
especially in a game that's
Kickstarter
so,
marketings work. So
yeah, and
I
especially
agree.
for a game that so blatantly just took from Chrono Trigger. I mean, one of the first bosses, I'm like, is that Lavos?
I know we
Like
both
it
said
looked
it. Yeah.
exactly, yeah, it was insane. Like they really blatantly took from a lot of games, but at the time, in the early part of the game, we're like, well, this is great. More people should take from these games. Like, when's the last time we had a Super Mario RPG clone that was half competent? Never. So go ahead. We're not mad
Exactly.
about it.
That was the best part of the game. The gameplay, like, it got a little boring at the end, just because you have to fight so many enemies. But there was like a large swath of the game was like, I really like it because they have super interesting combat mechanics. The timed hits on every move and every skill, the combo moves that they add allow you to add in, the ultimate attacks. Like a lot of it was very fun. They sort of drip feed it to you where you unlock a little bit of at a time. One of the things I really enjoyed about the early game in that first good 15 hours was I went back. So you don't have like fast travel pretty much ever throughout the game. And in the beginning, you don't even have like a vessel like to get from like one island to the next. And I remembered very early on that there was like a key that we needed on the first island, and then like 3 islands later I found it, and I was like, and I remembered, and I was like, I think the only way, if I want to get this now, the only way to go back would be to backtrack through every island, like from the end to the front, as if you were going backwards through, Super Mario World level or something like that, if you had to travel through every level to get back to the beginning. I was like, that's super interesting. And the two very rewarding things about that were, I made it back there. The item was very valuable. I unlocked a combo ability for like 2 characters. So it's like raw, tangible, visible, fun element that not a lot of people might get because it takes effort to go back and get this. And I get battle upgrades for it. And then the cooler thing about it was, since they must have known that it would take a while to go back and get that. And when you do go back to this island and finally get it, it opens up an exit right where you are, and then you can go to a ship from there. So the time was invested to go and get it, and then they respect that time by allowing you to exit quickly, but you don't know that until you commit to getting it.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, how often in an RPG do you go back to get the secret treasure chest and it's an attack? Most of the time, it's like, oh, it's the super armor, it's a
Yeah.
super
Or
weapon,
Mega
if
Potion.
that. Yeah, or some consumable or something. It's not often they just give you, here's an entire attack. I thought that was pretty cool because that happened pretty often. Like that's how you got attacks.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they give it to you in the story. Sometimes you just open a treasure chest and it's like, here's your fucking level 3 super ability. It's like, oh shit,
Yeah. It was just
was
a
that a
cool
treasure
combo
chest?
that you can now use in battle whenever you want for 2 characters. And I was like, oh, this is neat. This is extremely helpful. Especially because like the battle system, something that I will say that I love about it is another thing they took from Mario RPG, where all of the like damage numbers are really low. You start off like with 30 HP and you're doing like 11 damage or something like that. So when and then like on a level up you're doing 13 damage. So now when you get a new skill, you're like, this is very valuable. It's another thing to add to my repertoire because the battles are very fine tuned in at least in the beginning in that thing. So when you get this, it's like this is so valuable, more valuable than just like getting an armor and putting it on. And you know it wasn't going to be a consumables because the only consumables in this game are items that you cook at a campfire. And so there's like ingredients for cooking, but there's no like Phoenix Downs or anything. Everything is in cooking consumables. There's like only a handful of food you can make. So I like that too because it doesn't dilute the treasure pool. You know you're going to get a weapon and armor or a skill, which is very cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. I mean, there were some I think where it was like a rare collectible, those rainbow conches or whatever. But they had like a specific treasure chest for them, so you knew. So there's like in the beginning collectibles that are unique. It's only the one. That's really the only thing you have to collect, the rainbow conches. So like that one collectible, which is fun, like awesome items to unlock, very valuable people and skills. And then you start off with the three people, and the first person you unlock, they do it in a dog shit way, where you get the character and then they remove Garl from your team for a little bit. He like gets under a poison spell or some shit. And at that point, I loved him. You only have three people for a super long time. So removing him sucked. He was just gone, and I was left with a character I didn't like. And then when he comes back, you have all three plus the new character. And the cool thing about that is they have a swap system where you can swap at any time, basically like Final Fantasy X. It doesn't take your turn to swap. They maintain all of their stats in and out of battle, or in and out of like the swapping mechanics. If they, if they're at half HP and you swap them out, they still have half HP. And they swap in with it then later too. But it doesn't take the turn to swap. But so it's really cool. It deepens the battle system because of their lock system, which I forgot to touch on, so I'll just say it really quick. The one unique thing they do that is actually very good is they have like a lock system on enemies. So the enemies have a counter. It tells you, it'll have like, a 3, 2, or 1. It tells you when they're going to attack. But then also next to the counter, sometimes on special moves, we'll have damage types and element types. So it'll either have like hammer damage or sword damage. It's only 2 damage types. And if you do that damage type, it'll take 1 block out of the lock mechanism. So if it has sword, hammer, moon, then you have to do, a hammer moon attack and then switch to someone else and do a sword attack, which is really cool. If you get it off in the correct number of rounds before their turn, then you stop that attack from happening. It was a very cool system. And again, even with that, if you're smart enough to attack it, I died to enemies. Like they were powerful. It was interesting. And the cool thing about swapping then now is it adds this like chess sort of thoughtful element where it's like, oh, if I swap out this character, I'll have time to stop this person's ability. But if I don't swap them out and I leave this one in, I can stop the other character's ability. Or I don't have time to stop both, but if I do half of each one's lock system, it'll bring the damage down to 60% for each attack. So there's a lot of thought involved there, which is really fun. Who I'm going to attack, why, instead of the standard like RPG thing of I just fucking can basically do melee attacks to everyone the entire time and like tough it out.
Yeah, I could say, just to take a little bit of wind out of your sails, you called that a unique thing that they do. It's very similar to what they do in Octopath Traveler.
Oh.
Where every foe has they have shield points and weaknesses, and you have to figure out the weaknesses by attacking them. And then if you hit as many weaknesses attacks as there are shield points, they lose a turn and they get broken because it's like a Final Fantasy trope thing at this point. But it's very similar to that. But the thing about Octopath Traveler, just real quick as an aside, was I don't know, I must be regarded or something. I didn't see the numbers that correspond to shield points. So for a while I was like, oh, they kind of obfuscate this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. There was a number there the whole time. I just didn't see it somehow.
In Octopath?
And so I thought you had to like deal a certain amount of damage with a weakness to do it. I had no clue how it worked. I was like, maybe it's a certain number of times that I look and there's a giant number that's always been there the entire time. I was like, how did I not see this? But yeah, it is very similar to
Octopath. I didn't play Octopath, so that's on me. So we'll take it back. That's not unique, but it is cool.
It is cool.
It is cool.
It took a lot of different things. Something from Final Fantasy X, something from Super Mario RPG, something from Octopath Traveler. Like they take good things.
Yeah, and I actually love them for it. Again, all of those things that they took are very cool, and no one's utilizing them, especially in this way. The battle system was fun, and it was the best part of the game. Having an interactive battle system meant that I was like engaged in every fight. I couldn't if you didn't pay attention and hit your marks, like you weren't doing enough damage. It was almost required, especially like if you were backtracking through an earlier area, like you would just kill the enemies much faster if you did it. So it was just worthwhile to do it for everything, which makes every battle more fun when you have to pay attention. And then it makes harder battles super fun because of what I said earlier, where if you're blocking their attacks properly and protecting yourself properly, you feel very strong and good. And then if you're not, you're like getting thrashed by the enemy, which also is fun in a different way where you have to overcome how strong they are.
Yeah, it's very cool combinations of systems there. The blocking from Super Mario RPG and the weaknesses from Octopath. Very cool
Yeah,
things
and the
they've done.
swapping, the instant swapping from 10, and yeah, so those are all like, and basically like the style of Chrono Trigger, I would say, like the way that they like move around in battle, and like even the one strike is just, the one attack is just called X Strike. It was like it looked cooler than the one in Chrono Trigger where they just cut across them at the same time, but it's the same ability essentially. You can tell like where they took it from.
Yeah, and it had like a similar functions. Like some attacks would hit like an area around a target,
Mm-hmm.
in the same way they had those in Chrono Trigger. So the way enemies were positioned on the screen was
Yeah,
significant instead
which
of
you
just
can't really control. There
yeah,
was, actually, they had a couple things in there, and I'm not sure if this is unique. There are a couple ways to move the enemies around the battlefield if you use certain skills. Garl has one that can throw an enemy to a different spot, and then later on, the guy has like a black hole that groups them together. So you could later on like group them and then hit them with an AOE attack that initially they wouldn't have been hit by, but now they're closer, and it does.
yeah. I don't think that was in Chrono Trigger.
No, that definitely
So
wasn't. Chrono Trigger was just like you would hope that they were all in a line so you can hit them with the fire throw thing by Luca or whatever.
yeah, I think that was some kind of innovation from Sea of Stars. Maybe I haven't seen it before.
I've not seen it before either, so we'll get, unless someone tells us otherwise, I'll say that that was their innovation there. They don't really have too much of it. Okay, and then so they do another thing that one of the main things that bothers me is, like I said, the first half to 2/3 of the game, really fun, really good, and then after that it fucking takes a huge nosedive. So they set up the plot where the main enemy is the Fleshmancer, and there's a part where you get to the Fleshmancer's castle, and in my head I was like, I'm only like 15 hours in. I was like, I don't think this is the end, but sometimes they have those in RPGs. They have a face off at the enemy's main base, and then it doesn't, like, Magus or something still too. It's like you have a face off the enemy's main base, and then you're like, oh, there's still more to go. But there was nothing left for me to like explore in the main world. Where when it happens in like Chrono Trigger, you're like, oh, there's unexplored areas. I think you haven't had access to the whole map yet, so you don't know. It's a mystery. In this, you literally have a ship you can float around, and there's just like nothing left to do. And I was like, it can't be the end because there's areas that are off limits to me that I haven't gone to, but also there's nowhere else to go. I don't have access to them. So it was like this weird thing. I was like, I have to do it. But I sort of knew something was going to happen. And then after that, you get to the final boss, and there's like a really long cutscene where they kill Garl, and then he's like on his last breath, and he asks for borrowed time from. Oh yeah, hold on. Here's a really shitty part that I hated too. There's there's the one of the guys that gets added to your team. They do this thing the whole time where they're setting up, like, there's a guy like telling the story to us as a player. There's like, you'll in the beginning of the game it happens, and then there's like a couple beats where like in between chapters it cuts to like a guy sitting in a room reading a book, and he looks like a mummy from behind. I kept calling him the mummy. And then like when you enter a room at one point, it's just him. Like he's just in there. And he's like, I'm the archivist. I'll help you. You can call me Rashawn. And he just joins your team. And I was like, and he's like, I'm all powerful, and the Fleshmancer is my best friend who turned evil, but I will not raise my hand to fight against certain creatures because he and I have a certain wager. It's very poorly written. It's like he just comes out and says all this, and
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
and it's like he's like, I'm all powerful. He's my best friend, but we have a code that we're adhering to, so I won't attack the beasts that he's raising to kill you. None of it makes sense. You can't, like, it's horrible writing. Honestly, like, so amateur. It's insane. Um, they need to get someone on the writing team that knows how to write at all. Like, the dialogue was bad. everything. There was like a few shining moments, but most of it, like, I can't say enough horrible things about the writing in this game. And so that happens, and then you get to the end, and you're with Rashawn, and before this fight he like steps back. You're fighting this dweller, and he's like, I told you I wouldn't fight it, and you just don't have him for this fight. You're like, that's really cool. I love that. And then so you're down a character, you do the fight, and then Garl dies, and he asks for borrowed time from Rashawn, and he's like, I could do that for you, and he gives him like a vial that's like, you're allowed to complete one final mission because you have purpose, and then you'll die. And this is where the fucking game goes off the rails. They do this thing where Garl has a vision after this. He knows how to win or something, and then he like splits up your team. So the idea is they squander all these really cool ideas. When you go through one of the earlier islands, you go through a giant cave system run by mole people, and there's like a dragon around it, and they're like, yeah, he showed up once and he would have destroyed the whole world, but we put him to sleep on this rock. And Garl's plan is to turn a volcano into a kiln and bake a giant loaf of bread to give to him because he's a cook. And so it splits up your team, but in a horrible way. You legit have Rashawn, the mummy, who is best friends with the evil big bad, but is on your team and also can't help against certain enemies. Everyone splits up, and he's like, well, you don't have to go alone. And he says, I have to leave and do research, but you guys can have these dummies of me. Where one is like, this is so literally and figuratively soulless. You have a version of him that doesn't have eyes, that just follows you around, doesn't talk. It's just literally for battle purposes, so you're not too weak. But then everyone has him. So like Zale goes off with a Rashawn clone, and then the girl Sarai or whatever also does it, and then also does Valerie or whatever, Valir, with another one. They all just have one. I was like, this sucks. Like, he's like a Deus Ex Machina character. It felt like they were writing the story as they were making the game, and they're like, oh, what do we do now? They're all solo. And instead of being like, oh, we should just write better, they're like, puppet time. And then on top of that, the puppet thing is like completely stolen from Super Mario RPG. There's no like, I don't know if they're doing this on purpose and they're like, oh, we want to, like, we're doing an homage to it or something, but like it's completely just Geno. He literally like takes over a doll. He's like a puppet from like a higher creature in Super Mario RPG. Like a star creature comes down, takes over Geno. They actually even have the same line where he's like, you can't pronounce my name. And then it shows like a bunch of musical notes or something. And then they do the same thing in like Super Mario RPG. And in this, they're like, it's like, oh, you could just call me Rashawn. And he's like, oh, what's this doll's name? And they're like, Geno, call me Geno or whatever. And he takes over the doll. They do the exact same thing. And then they like make him into a puppet or whatever. So that's also stolen and done worse, which bothered me.
Right.
And then, so like the second half of the game, I'm going to be more succinct here because I don't want to tell you every beat, but the second half of the game, you do the bread thing, you wake up the dragon, and I can't remember how actually, but you open up the door to the Sea of Stars. You go to another thing you do that's also insane that they never extrapolate on. They like drop in a bunch of tidbits of information and then don't explain it anyway, but like in a bad way. It doesn't make sense why these things would exist. You go to an island and all these people, they're like, we have to talk to the council. And it's like these people that are so tall that you only see them from like the knee up. You just see like giant legs. And you're like, and you talk to the council and they're like, let you do this plan or whatever. But like, who are these people? Why are they not killing the Fleshmancer? They're gigantic. They're literally 50 times my size. They're just floating on the fucking sky planet, like not paying attention. And so, yes, they never extrapolate on it. These people never get fleshed out in any way. And once you're done doing this part, you never have to talk to them again. They never have any input beyond this. And that's like a core theme. There's like a million things they introduce. They think it'll be cool. They're like, oh yeah, and then you go to the sky people, and then they just drop it forever because I'm completely forgotten about it. And like I'm fine if you do that, but it's like it also doesn't make sense thematically to have a village of people who live in the sky, are 50 feet tall, and don't interact on the world that is getting destroyed by monsters.
Yeah, that's a little bit ham-fisted.
Yeah, and that's...
By the way, there's a Supreme Council of Tall People that rule the universe.
No one's ever heard of them before, and except for Rashawn, who is outside of space and time. It's like really poorly written. Once you start to delve into stuff like that, it's the same thing with time travel. It's like nothing really matters. You lose the feel of everything when the guy on your team can control space and control time, but chooses not to arbitrarily. And then, it's like, oh well, this feels like dog shit. Why? Like, if he was just a normal person, he would just like help out. Oh, and then the reason, like, oh, so anyway, whatever. So what happens is you please them, you wake up the dragon, and they let you use the Sea of Stars, and they like name drop it for the first time. They like literally, dude, it bothered me so much. They're like, we'll use this that Garl or whatever has a fucking, I keep saying Carl because Garl is so stupid, but he has his vision, and he's like, we're gonna open up the Sea of Stars, whatever that is. And then they never talk about it. There's a point you go into it at some point. You literally like travel across a galaxy. For some reason, they do this part in the game where they make it like a 3D FPS version of your ship, and you're like flying through a galaxy. You shoot a giant cannonball and shatter the galaxy in half, fly into another galaxy forever, and then land in another world or dimension or something, and you just come out of it. They never discuss what the Sea of Stars is. It's the name of the game. It has almost zero impact on anything in the game besides you traveling to another world. And this entire other world thing doesn't make any sense and is horribly done.
Yeah, I saw that. You like blew up like the black hole at the center of the galaxy or something.
Yeah.
You like literally shot a cannonball at it and it exploded.
Yeah.
And then they never mentioned that?
They never, ever, ever. No one says a word about that part. Like, they don't even come through and cheekily, like, in a really bad Reddit way, be like, we just blew up the galaxy. Like, no one says anything. You show up in a new world, and Sarai, who's been on your whole team the entire time, who can also make glowing green portals, which is a complete... Let's not worry about that right now. But she, like, takes off her mask when you get there. You're, like, in a technology world, and she's like, yes, I'm part android robot, and they erased our memories, and the same bad guy from your world already defeated my world. I came to your world to look for... So she's already crossed the Sea of Stars somehow. They also don't explain that. And
right.
And I came to your world to look for a solution to beat him. So you spend like the next, like the back 50% of the game in this other world, and it's like an entire new area, and it feels like dog shit. I said in the beginning, what they establish a world, and you begin to care about it because you slowly go through these worlds, right? In the beginning, when like a town gets hit by like a meteor and it's like destroyed, there's this section where you have to like build them a new town, which is another thing I completely forgot about. That sucks. And and so but you do this, and it's like this world starts to mean something to you. You've seen these places, you've been to these people, and then they throw that away. It's like, why would I care about a world that's already destroyed with a bunch of robots that I've never met before, and it's like desolate? But again, it's just stealing the domes from Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
It's far future, techno hybrid. Everyone's desolate and wrapped in dirty robes. It's legit just stealing the dome area from 2300 or 23,000 AD or whatever the fuck it is in Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, they do that.
They do it a lot.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, it's like everything is stolen. That's why, and like that part is where like sure you take the timed hits from Mario and you extrapolate on it, but it's like even the themes of the story are stolen and not done as well. It was like legit they had on paper, what's cool about Chrono Trigger? I like the dome world. Let's make it. How do we make it make sense in our world? Don't fucking worry about that. People are too dumb. And they are. People are fucking eating this shit up. So, you get to the dome world. You go through a bunch of things, and I'm going to stop. It doesn't matter. Most of it's dog shit. And then, like, again, just really poorly implemented. And then you get to this part, and this is, like, one of the most egregious parts to me. I almost gave up the game here. You go to the sky world, which is just the Kingdom of Zeal. And then it's a giant robotic sky world that's like making clouds, which is one of the things that is like it's blocking out the sun. That's how the guy won. Oh yeah, you guys are solstice warriors and you have the sun and the moon power and they're very strong, and it's blocking out the sun with clouds, so you have to go to the cloud factory in the sky world and destroy it. You go through the entire section. You fight a horrible boss, dude. That boss was literally like a bunch of robots that were like guns that were protecting it, and for some reason not a single one had a lock mechanism. They like ditched it for this fight where you just beat up
Oh yeah, I
robots,
remember.
and it's really poorly designed. And so you win, and dude, this part was so bad. I don't understand what the fuck they're thinking. You win, you go up to the computer. It's like an AI that was turning people into androids, and he's like, "I'm actually a good AI. It was just this programming that was making me do it. Also, I'm too advanced for any of you to understand and use. We can't turn off the clouds." And we go, "Oh, who could we get?" And when you had gone through the real or your original world before you fought the Fleshmancer, he had like a bunch of children that he trapped in there with a time spell that will die if they leave it. They said that he like captured them there with time, and then they'll like instantly age, and they've been in there for hundreds of years. And then so you go there, and you teach them about this AI core. And so this part sucks so bad. It's like a 20-minute segment where they're like, we should go back and talk to those kids. So you leave the sky world, you leave the dome world, you travel back through the Sea of Stars to your original world, you go back to the Fleshmancer's place. There's no enemies here the whole way. You just have to walk this on foot or like through your movement mechanisms or whatever. And then you get there, there's like another cutscene where they say, oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we're all super geniuses. I have an idea. Let's work on it for you. Come back in a couple minutes. Or they say, come back in 2 days. And there's literally just cutscenes of you going to the town that you created for those people and just like fucking around. You just have to watch them be like, I'm bored. And then they go like 2 days has passed. We should go back and check on them. And then you have to travel from the town back to the place. You go in, and there's this cutscene where the 5 children use the AI technology to put themselves into a robot together, and they come out and they go, guys, do the move, and they like throw one of their fists up in the air in the robot that they put themselves into, and they go, we're the artificer. You take him to it automatically takes you to the thing. He uses the AI with his brains, it shuts off the clouds, and then you never talk to this fucking character again. It was like a legit 25 minute segment of just walking back and forth, listening to dumb conversations, literally waiting. And then you do it. They do this big spiel about being able to overcome the time magic for some reason by putting all of their souls into a robot instead. And these 5 kids decide they'd rather live the rest of their lives as a fucking robot. None of it makes sense in any regard. And then all of this was just to take it to the other world so because they need to be smart enough to use an AI, and they're super geniuses or something. And they turn off the clouds for you so you can see the sun. And then that's it. It's literally like you never see this character again. It has no other input. It makes no sense. All of this time, so much time spent, like one of the longest, like uncontrollable, like text cutscene segments of the game to introduce this character that has one task, completes it instantly. It was literally just like, why couldn't they just let us press this button and turn it off as a reward?
Because you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the game.
For what? Yeah, I was like, for what? Why did this exist? I almost stopped playing. I was like, I can't believe they just made me do this. I just went through all of this time for nothing, for this guy to come press the button instead. And then you go, okay, bye, and you just leave. You just leave him there, and you go to the next part. You have to also... So, like, there's cool potential there. Like, they have the cool idea. They go, clouds block the sun. Cool. How do you do it? Spaceship that's blocking it, that's making clouds. Cool. And then they fuck it up with all that. The next part is like so streamlined. The next part, what you do, you go underwater through a specialty underwater passage, and you fight a Cthulhu-looking guy. And when you kill him, you fucking lift the moon out of the ground because they'd crashed the moon under the ocean, so you can't use that either. And you lift the moon out of the ground, and it's really cool. And this is where they pissed me off. So you lift the moon out of the ground. You save the moon and the thing from this guy. The Fleshmancer's castle is there. The 2 main characters, who are the Solstice Warriors, literally power up like Super Saiyans. They go, oh my god, we unlocked our fucking true identity, and we have the power. We re-released the power of the moon and the sun. And they start flying around like Super Saiyans. You can literally like fly on the world map now in a glowing bubble of moon and sun power, which is very cool for travel. But then a text message comes up on screen that says you can go to the Fleshmancer's castle now if you want. And so all the stuff that I've been waiting on since 15 hours in the game to unlock has been inaccessible until this moment. There's like, right. I remember I was showing you I'm like 5 hours into the game, you get a boat, and I'm like driving around the ocean, and I'm like, oh look, these are just like the puzzles in the in the main worlds when you have to move the sun and the sunlight through these crystals, but you can see them under the water here. I wonder when this becomes accessible. It's like 5 hours in the game. 20 hours later is when you can first do it.
Right.
It was such a fucking horrible payoff. Because the problem is, all that stuff is literally inaccessible until now, and then all of it is accessible. So 95% of the way through the game, they said, here's all the extra stuff you can do before the game. Also, to get the true ending, you still have to beat it once anyway. So it's like so convoluted, not well thought out, like not storyboarded or planned. It's just like thrown all in at the end. It really felt like one of those games. This happens with every single video game. The beginning is really good. They get tired of creating a game. They rush the back end, and it suffers for it immensely.
Yeah. It was like, here's the late game and everything all at once.
Yeah. And so by this time, I'm like, I'm sick of fighting. All of the fun stuff had happened. Like, the bosses aren't engaging anymore. Like 3 or 4 of the secret bosses that unlock at this point are literally recolors. That Lavos boss you fight again, but it's the exact same boss, but harder, and he's a different color. And you can clearly tell, like, you know how, and it's a Chrono Trigger bit where, you know, when you like start doing all the Chrono Trigger quests and you can get like the rainbow shell and you can make like one item out of it, which is cool because it's like, oh, you can make either the best hat or the best weapon for Luca or the best armor or whatever, but you can't make all of them. We don't have enough. They sort of like do that, except for they just give you everything. You don't get a specialty item, but like you do one quest and you get the best armor in the game, and you do another quest and you get the best weapon for this character in the game, and you do another quest and you get the best armor for this character in the game. And that's it. You just do like 6 quests, you get awarded with the best of every category, and then that's it. And they're like not really fun or engaging. It was basically like I wanted to see what the true ending was, so I ticked this box.
Right. There's arbitrary goals.
Absolutely. No heart, no, like, you know what I mean? They're running on empty at this point. I didn't even want to be playing anymore. Everything like the story had pissed me off so much. The segment where they like make you split up sucked balls. And then I mean the cherry on top is there's the main ending, you go in, you don't even fight the Fleshmancer. You go through his castle. Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot about this too because it's so forgettable. There's like there's this character, there's these 2 other Solstice warriors that betray you in the beginning of the game. They're like a sun and a moon warrior just like you, but they're like, oh, we don't want to live our lives being controlled by you. We were born and immediately bred into soldiers, and we don't want to live like that. So we're taking back our freedom. So we're betraying you to the Fleshmancer, and that's it. And so they betray you to the Fleshmancer. And then when Garl dies, there's like a part where they show back up, and the Fleshmancer's like, oh, you helped me? What do you want? And the guy is like, the entire time he betrays you, you see him like 2 more times. His name is like Brewgraves or something. He's like talking to your characters. He's like, come on, guys, you can do this too. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to fight you. He does it like 3 times. I like, come on, I still care. Please, Valir. And she's like, fuck off, dickhead. And he's like, come on, I don't want to hurt you guys. Come on. I just want to be free of my responsibilities. And then he's like, cries. And the other girl's like, I just want almighty power or whatever. So they go through a portal. This is halfway through the game when Garl disappears. I don't think you have to fight them up until this point. They just show up again and this happens. You never really have to fight them. You have to fight them when you first come in because they're like holding you off. They're like making time for someone, and then you don't have to fight them ever again. And then you come in, they do that, they run away, and then there's a part when you're going through the Fleshmancer's final castle, and you fight, there's like a soul collector, and he summons like a soul reaper, and you kill it, and he's like, oh my god, that was my fastest creation. He's like, well, there's one more that's super fast, and there's like a thing that, like, Brewgraves' other thing he does the whole time is talk about how he wasn't fast enough to, like, they like yell at him. When he's being trained as a kid, they're like, you're not quite fast enough, and they like allude to that as well. And so this soul collector alludes to like, he's like, I'll bring in my fastest warrior now, which you're assuming it's him because he gets turned into a super fast demon. And then Sarai in the cutscene just teleports behind the soul collector and stabs him in the back, and he dies. And you never see Brewgraves again.
Huh.
For the rest of the... Oh, there's one thing. I'll explain it. But then, so that you get to the end of the game, this is the main storyline. You get to the end. You literally fight the girl. She turns into a giant demon. You kill her, and then the Fleshmancer shows up. He kills her. The Rashawn shows up. They literally like shake hands. Like something happens with the main characters where they like go Super Saiyan mode. They literally like shake hands and they go, okay, bye, and they go through a teleporter and the game ends and you like never see the game again. They literally just you never see them again. They just like leave. They're like, oh, they're actually pretty strong. We should leave or something. And then it doesn't really explain it. They just leave together, which is so strange. And the game ends, and I was like, wow, that was extremely unsatisfying. Oh, you know what? Okay, so you know what happens is it ends, and they make you do a bullet hell section. I forgot about this, too. You go Super Saiyan, you ascend, there's a World Eater. The entire game, they talk about how if a Dweller turns into a World Eater, it's unstoppable. They'll destroy a world. And then you instantly go Super Saiyan and kill a World Eater in a bullet hell section. It's never been introduced in the game before. You do it after you kill the final boss. It felt like dog shit. And why would you do it? And then the game just ends. It's like a fucking fake arcade section. It was so weird. And then they go in a teleporter together. The game ends, and you're like, all right, cool. I want to get the true ending, so I'm like, let me see what this is all about. I do all the secret stuff. They literally do in Chrono Trigger when Chrono dies, and then you use the fucking Chrono Trigger to replace it with a doll so you can save him.
Yeah.
They do that with Garl, yeah.
Oh god.
Dude, so it's like note for note, dude. So when you go to the other world, there's like this creature, it's like called Living Glass, and you put a creature's soul into living glass so he can. It's another beat on like, so there's like, when those kids get turned into a robot so they can leave because their souls are time trapped. Well, you meet other bunch of ghosts whose souls are trapped in an area, and for some reason he's allowed to leave once you put him inside living glass. But they basically just put a bunch of cum inside a glass robot.
Right.
And then he's on your team the rest of the game. He's completely whatever. It's like, well, I don't care about this guy. It was very like late edition. Who gives a shit? So you have him on your team, and when you do the Garl thing, I can't remember exactly what happens, but you like go to this shrine, and it teleports you back to that moment. Oh no, it teleports you back to that moment, and like the guy, you get Garl. He's like alive. He like walks out of a teleporter. He's like, I was dead. He's like legit, I was dead. There's people there. I'm not allowed to talk about it. And then he says this shit. And then he's like, but I have a plan. I knew you guys were going to come and save me. And then you teleport back to when he was killed. And the living glass guy is like, I'll take your place. He's like, it's going to hurt, but I can take a beam from the Fleshmancer. I don't know where this gets explained. He's just on your team the entire game. And then he's like, I can take a hit from the Fleshmancer that killed you. He like gets killed, or that happens. You teleport back with Garl, and there's a cutscene where you go back to where Garl was buried, and you dig up the living glass creature, and he's like, thanks guys, and they're like, sorry we took so long or whatever, and he just was like buried alive pretending to be Garl for some reason. And you get him back on your team, but it's the exact same thing. You put a replacement body in at the death scene, you get the main character back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They took it from Chrono Trigger. Like, there's nothing, like, they took a big story beat from Chrono Trigger. Exactly. I was like, how is no one seeing this? All these people playing this game have never played Chrono Trigger. Everyone's like, I love it because they take so much stuff from Chrono Trigger. It's like, yeah, they take the story and they make it worse. It's the exact same thing. They do a frozen in time section. They body replace the double so that your character can live again. It's the exact same thing they do in Chrono Trigger. But much worse because the characters the entire time are like saying stuff that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and there's a World Eater that's gonna come. Like, what the fuck?
Dude.
It's all this like really ham-fisted, the Fleshmancer, like...
Oh, it's all the fantasy words. Yeah, they do that immediately. I almost gave up right in the beginning. You and I talk about that all the time. Look up any random fantasy book and go 5 pages in. They do the same thing in this. They go, the Solstice Warriors are always destined to fight the Fleshmancer. And I was like, I'm out. I honestly don't want to play. Oh, what the fuck does that mean? You can't start throwing terms at me. I have no interest. You have to, like, there's such importance to having a good intro to the game.
Yeah, I don't want to play a game when I need to have the fucking glossary next to me.
Not from the
I gotta
beginning,
have a
right?
goddamn notebook.
Let me figure it out. And that's like key storytelling, where if you know how you don't have to say like the Solstice Warriors. You know, we'll understand we're Solstice Warriors when you are like when you give their backstory at some point and you're like they were born on the solstice and like okay, now I get it. And you don't. That's all you have to do. It's very simple. It's like day one creative writing. I don't understand who wrote this. Get me their
Yeah.
names.
No, you know who wrote it? Game designers. They're not writers.
Yeah.
They clearly didn't hire anybody that is a writer.
No.
It's just like the game developers were like, I have a fucking story. I wrote it when I was 14 in high school, and we'll make it into a fucking video game.
Dude, the World Eaters, the Fleshmancer, the Archivist. It was like they worked backwards from cool words they made up, and it didn't. And they couldn't fucking figure out the rest, dude. They're like, how about the Artificer? And he's 5 children that are time trapped in a castle for 1,000 years, and they put themselves into a robot. Very cool on paper, and the execution was so bad. I was like, I'd rather eat my dog's shit out of her ass than fucking listen to the story for another second.
Dude, I'm on the Wikipedia page for Sea of Stars, and there's a sentence: the party locates a device left by Rashawn called the chronophage.
Oh yeah.
Fucking came up with chronophage, and they're like, yeah, dude, this is gonna be a great word. You remember the fucking xenophage from Mass Effect?
Isn't
Dude, we're gonna do one
phage
about
just
Chrono Cross.
like the biological term for like the eater or something?
Yeah, it's like it's a part of a virus. It's called a phage.
It's like the scientific like word that's like
like
virus.
Chronophage,
Yeah.
but it's spelled like Chrono without the H, like in Chrono Trigger, like main character's name.
That's so epic.
Crono.
That's so epic. Not only did they, dude, they're like, what's cool? Okay, let's take Chrono Trigger. How about, oh my god, Solstice Warrior. Imagine Chrono Trigger with a Solstice Warrior. They have the power of the sun and moon.
Yeah, and I love how one main character is like, well, his name has to start with a Z.
Yeah.
It's only cool if his name starts with a Z. And
Yeah.
the other one, what should we do? We'll start their name with a V.
They also put a girl, and her name is Serai. It's spelled Serai, but one of the letters has like umlauts. I don't know why. Like
yeah,
the
Rashawn's
German...
name has an apostrophe in the middle of it for no reason.
Yeah.
Like,
and
these people, they love it.
Yeah. Why would he say call me Rashawn? He's like making up a name that makes him easier to understand. Why would you put a fucking apostrophe in it? It's completely like made up fantasy bullshit. You don't need an apostrophe in that name.
Yeah. It's just horseshit.
It makes no
They
etymology.
revived the Dweller of Strife. Like, get over yourself with this.
Yeah, it's bad. The whole Dweller thing makes no sense, too. That's the whole thing with Rashawn. He's like, I won't fight a Dweller. And it's like, so the enemy that you have a truce with or whatever is creating Dwellers that destroy worlds, and you won't fight them because you said you wouldn't? What are you doing to help? You're not really doing anything for us. You're like throwing potions at them or something. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I thought that character was stupid as hell.
He was extremely poorly written. Dude, imagine they had like an all-seeing character in Chrono Trigger that keeps like telling the story. Imagine when you go, what the fuck is the guy at the end of time or whatever? Balthazar, remember? Or whatever. Imagine the first time you see him, he just joins your team and he has the highest level magics. But he's like, I won't use them out of personal preference. I'm bringing myself down to your level. It's so poorly written. Obviously, again, super cool on paper. It's like, imagine he joined your team. But they just don't implement it well. It's executed so awfully.
Yeah, they had some good ideas. They just didn't quite pull it off.
Like, the moral of the story, they didn't pull anything off. The moral of the story is that if you want a good game, just steal from every other game that has good concepts and do almost nothing to it. In fact, you made it worse by how bad the story was and how bad, like, the plot was, and it didn't even matter. People fell in love with the art and the music. Every time someone would come into my stream when I was playing and go, dude, this game has great art, this game has great music, I go, yeah, not good enough to fucking play for 30 hours.
Yeah, but look at the reviews on this. Digital Trends 4 stars, Eurogamer 4 stars, Game Informer 9 out of 10, GameSpot 9 out of 10,
Yeah,
IGN 8 out of 10.
I don't get it. Who? Yeah, these people couldn't have played. You need a generational gamer
10
like
hours.
Me. No way.
They played at most. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They played at most 10 hours.
If you
They
finish
didn't get
this
into the
game
meat
and you
of it.
think it's a 9, you shouldn't be allowed to review games, I don't think. You just weren't
Yeah.
playing. You know what I mean? You need a generational gamer like me I played Chrono Trigger. I played Super Mario RPG when they came out. I understand
Yeah.
it. Chrono Trigger is still one of the best RPGs of all time. Maybe the best. It does everything right.
Yeah, it really does.
It's like
It invented this gangster shit.
if you're gonna
With some
take
motherfucking thanks they get.
if you're gonna take shit from it, dude, you have to do it like justice.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything.
This was like, it was all like, people, I know people are gonna say like, oh, this is a love letter to these games. Like, no, it's a fan fiction
Yes. Yeah,
that someone
exactly.
wrote, and they're like, let's make our own game. And they
Exactly. It's
just
not a
throw bunch
love
of
letter
ideas.
because they're not like lovingly crafting the things that they took from the game into their own version of it. They're taking them wholesale and then doing them worse. If that's a love letter, then this is a fucking toxic relationship. That shit's fucked. And so you get now this is the true travesty. You do all of this stuff. You have to fight like 6 secret bosses and collect all of the rainbow conches in the game to resurrect Garl. You do the dumb shit where you bring him back, they steal the beat from Chrono Trigger, and then the only thing left to do is beat the game again. So you've already beaten all the super strong bosses, so I'm like, oh, it's going to be a walk in the park. You go back, literally everything is the same, except for you go back, and Garl shows up and, like, punches the guy in the face, I think. Or something weird like that. He's like, I thought I killed you. And he was like, some fancy time magic. That's clever. I'll just kill you again. I don't remember why he doesn't. And then you get into a fight with him. And so when you fought the girl demon who used to be on your team and betrayed you, she's like a regular person. And then you kill her and she like falls off a cliff and comes back up as like a super demon that takes up the whole screen. It's a really interesting fight. When you fight the Fleshmancer, it's just his character that you've seen the whole time, like a regular person. And then after you do a certain amount of damage to him, you have a bullet hell scene in the middle of the fight where you fight a bullet hell version of him. And I didn't do enough damage to kill it the first time or whatever. And then, or I'm not sure how it works actually, because I didn't do enough damage to kill it the first time. It sends you back to the regular fight. I got sent back to it, killed it, and then it sent me back to the regular fight still. So it's like, it was very strange. It took like a half hour. He had so much HP. So
Jeez.
You do the final fight, you beat him, and then nothing changes. Legit, everything else is the same. He's like, oh my god, you guys are so strong. And instead of like, because you didn't fight him the first time, he just says like, they're very strong, but, and then they just like leave for some reason. And then so you do this scene, literally the same thing happens where there's like they put in like a cool 10-second like anime cutscene where it's like drawing cartoons, and it's legit where I think like Garl punched him in the face, or they all like, it shows like the whole squad ready to fucking jump his ass, or they all hit him once or something like that. It's very not memorable. And then the Rashawn comes out of a teleporter, literally helps him off the ground, and then he like winks at you, and you like they go into the teleporter again together, and then Garl's like, we did it. And then everything else is literally the same. They go, like, it's like legitimately the same, where they go, oh, it's the world leader's coming, we have to kill them. And then you do another bullet time segment against the same world leader from the first time you do it, and then the game ends. And as far as I can tell, the only added scene at the end is where the girl now, who betrayed you or whatever, is like a demon, and she like walks up on a rock, and Boo Graves is like standing at the end of it, and you see him for 4 seconds. And I was like, this guy was a focal point of the first half of the game, and then you never see him again until now. This is not resolution. You just see him again. Like if he would have,
remember that guy?
It's actually redundant because you guys got so strong that you pushed the Fleshmancer out, so they would have gotten what they wanted if they did absolutely nothing. If they didn't help you, because you stopped them from taking over the world, and now they don't have any responsibilities. Except for now, they're demon people in another world without you. It is a bad ending for them. They betrayed you and got nothing back for it. They set up a redemption arc that never happens. Once he turns into a demon, you literally never see him again unless you do the true ending, and you see him stand on a rock for 2 seconds and then turn around and go meet up with the other girl. Like, just, they throw a character in the trash. It makes no sense. If anyone says this is good writing, you should not be allowed to read books. You should be put into a mental hospital. It doesn't make sense. You can't think this is good reading. This is like, it's bad for children. He literally, dude, he is a focal point of the game. There's like flashbacks. He's your trainer. They're setting up all this dynamic where you're gonna have to fight him. You never do, besides when he's like holding you off and then they just leave. And then he turns into a demon and wants to like he doesn't like have a redemption thing where he comes back and says, I'm sorry, I ruined your life too. You never see him again. You don't fight him as a demon. Nothing happens. He's just gone for the back 15 hours of the game.
Well, that's just beautiful storytelling.
There's a million characters that are relegated to nothing. Dude, there's a whole town. Your mentor is like this old guy that also like trains you but stays on your side. Like they betray you and he's still on your side. And when you're like making the town for people, which is, I don't know if they stole it from this game, but earlier this year, Chained Echoes came out and you have a much better, deeper, and more interesting like island team commander base building segment than you do in this one. But you do it anyway, whatever. And you you go to the island at one point and he's just living there and you like drop him off and he's like, I failed and I don't want to do this anymore. And he just like stops being a solstice teacher and like lives on the island. Is like, I'm gonna die soon, and that's it. And, like he's just gone as well. They just like shuffle characters off and you never see them again. There's no longevity. It makes no sense.
Yeah, what's the point of this?
And there's not like a single character that you meet in Sarai's world. Like they're all like random. There's like people there, but it's just like a bunch of people sitting around the town, all desolate. Like at least in Chrono Trigger, when you went there, it was like the old guy in the dome was like the leader with the white hair. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's just like some schmuck, but you know exactly who I mean when I say him. He's like the leader of all the desolate people there. He might have a name, I don't remember. And then you do the thing with the weird blue creatures that have the mind in them. You like come back to the dome and it's cooler when you come back, and there's like people there.
You have the racing mini game.
Yeah, with Johnny Rocket or whatever. Yeah, it's like, again, he's like some random schmuck and I still remember him. No, there's not any cool mini games.
Damn, there's the stupid bullet hell segments, which is a straight up thievery from Nier Automata, which also I didn't enjoy.
Yeah, so
and it's like another game that's raved about, but I was like, I couldn't even get like past the beginning of that game.
I did the same thing. I got very short into it, and I was like, yeah, this blows.
Yeah.
Dude, one time I was talking to somebody the other day. Actually, I was talking to Dumpster Donuts. He said, yeah, a bunch of my friends said they liked Nier Automata, and then I was like, what do you guys like about this game? And they're like, 2B is hot, and it's like the main character. And I was like, imagine having critical levels of anime horniness that you play a 40-hour RPG because you want to fuck the main character so bad. You disgusting scum. You should be.
Oh my god.
You should be grind into a fibrous dust. These people just are despicable. These are the people that they love this character so much for some reason that has no like adaptation, that has not been fleshed out in any way, and they go online, they go, best game ever, 2B is hot, and she has long legs, and then I play it and I was like, oh yeah, this eats ass, dude. I'm gonna kill myself if I play this game any longer. And so,
you know what? If we're gonna ban books, we should ban hentai from school libraries.
Dude, we should.
Someone needs to do something.
We really do need to do something because these people are the most vocal people. That's why I said the internet needs to be a little bit more restricted. You can go online and find all these IGN reviews. I don't think anyone should be allowed to do a review on Steam. Is Sea of Stars on Steam?
Probably.
I gotta see if this game has reviews. Oh,
I imagine it.
$35. This shit is whack. I played it for free. On Game Pass.
Oh, yeah, on Game Pass?
Dude, very positive out of 3,700 reviews. That's crazy.
Everything's very positive on Steam. Like, there's barely anything. Like, if it's a negative thing, it's mixed. Like, you'll see what game sucked? Like, Cyberpunk. When that game came out, it sucked. It didn't have negative. It just said mixed. It's like, dude, everyone agrees that this game is a pile of shit.
This is so funny too, dude. This guy, the top review, most helpful review in the past 30 days, this game takes me back. It's Saturday afternoon. Cartoons are over. It's just me and the SNES. Mom just told me she's ordering pizza, and it's going to be a good night. This review is so bad. This guy, this is like a meme comment that people do. I've seen this around. So it's unoriginal, not funny, not helpful. Why is this person allowed to review? 800 people found this review helpful. This should be a trap that Steam set. And if you click, you found this review helpful, that your account gets banned. And now here's the best part. This guy has 26 hours on record in the game, 10 hours at review time. And when I say that the time it took me to beat it was like 30, I'm the best gamer alive. No one beat it faster than me in their first time through. I'm
Yeah, I
su-
told you.
I'm too good at
They played
puzzles.
10 hours at most before they put out these glowing reviews. Because around 10 hours, the game's pretty good. You're like, oh, these ideas are working out.
Oh no,
They're
dude.
doing
Hold
a
on.
good job.
Hold on.
They had a
No.
bad beginning, but they came back. But
No, dude, you're gonna lose your mind. This guy actually had 27 hours at review time, and he goes, pretty much everything is excellent. I skipped one paragraph ahead. The combat is probably the weakest part of the game.
oh my god,
This guy is insane, dude. I can't
how?
believe it.
Yeah, you're right. These people shouldn't be allowed to type on the
This guy
internet.
should not be allowed.
He should have his internet connection revoked. This is a travesty.
It's on. He should have his internet connection revoked. It's insane. I'm trying to find someone that has like. Why is this person allowed to review? They just said recommended. My favorite part of this game is playing Moonerang, which is just using the one skill with the timed hit. That's all this review says. Like this isn't a fucking comment section. This isn't Reddit. This isn't a review. You should legit get in trouble for this.
Yeah, they tried to lean into that on Steam reviews.
Yeah,
'Cause
you can like
you
put
can
the
vote
funny
for funny.
award.
Yeah.
That's so fucking stupid, dude. Steam is a cesspool.
I'm on it now too. And they got one of just the Golden Sun experience of my dreams.
Oh yeah, people kept saying this plays just like Golden Sun. Golden Sun is a billion times better than this. First of all,
That's the only line of the review.
oh
You
wow.
just said like that's it. Here's another one. Best JRPG I've played since Golden Sun. That sentence is
That
the whole
can't
review.
be true. Oh my god,
That's what
so
it
this
says.
this is so good. This is so good too because this guy gives it a recommended. This guy has 4,000 products in his account. First of all, and at the end, this is so funny. Conclusion: roughly 47 hours deep, and after obtaining the 100%, I'm extremely satisfied with my purchase. 47 hours. I did it in 20 hours less than that. What the fuck was this guy doing the whole time? And this game has like things that you can get. You can like buy artifacts and like special things that I never used, which like auto do your timed hits for you, auto do your timed blocks for you. Some is just like enemies do less damage and you do more. Like they have like things that basically make it easy mode, which also sucks because I don't know, like I played it with none of them, but these people are probably all playing it with all them on, doing every timed hit automatically and shit. Like it's just playing the game for them at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know why those things exist as well, which I think is like a travesty.
I don't know what's wrong with people like them. Like, there's so many. Like when we were talking about that other games, we can go into it real quick. That Lies of P.
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of it, but I went on Oh, you linked me a tweet where someone was saying it was great, and the comments on that. Well, the first one I saw, this guy's like, "Oh, it's too hard. Like you need to stop catering just to Souls fans so that other people can enjoy your game. It would be so much more successful if anybody else could play it, but you made it way too hard." Like paragraph on paragraph on paragraph, him complaining the game is too hard. It's like, dude, this isn't Ninja Gaiden. Like, go play a real hard game.
Yeah.
Go play Legend of Zelda 2, dude. Like, you're not gonna make it. Like, give up. These aren't for you. Go read a book.
Oh, I do want to.
Everything's too hard.
No,
You need
you're
these
exactly
easy mode
right.
things for an RPG.
That's why I hate it, dude. It's like RPGs are easy by virtue of being able to level. Oh, this is another thing that actually bothered me. You know, in Super Mario RPG, one of the coolest things I think of is when you level up, you can pick one of the three main stats: HP, like physical or magic or whatever, to like get a boost from.
Right.
And like if you go all HP, you're a fucking tank at the end. If you go all physical, you're dumping out damage. And it's a really interesting system. They copy this in this, but everyone levels up on the same experience bar, which I loved because it was an interesting inclusion where like you all leveled up at the same time. It was one team XP, which I found interesting. And then they do the same thing, but for all of your stats, where you can pick a stat to level up, but it's gamed. So like I was like, oh, I'll do the same thing. I love doing this. I'm gonna make I was like, Zale doesn't have, or Valeria doesn't have like a lot of magic I like right off the bat. I'm going to make her a physical powerhouse. And so I was like, physical, physical, physical. And then after a while, it just doesn't show up anymore. You have to put it into other stats. Physical stops showing up on the list. So it like the leveling up doesn't matter. It makes you balance it out. There's not one, if you do too much of one, it takes it out of the list because it has HP, physical defense, magical defense, mana, and they only put like 4 of them up to pick from. So if if physical stops showing up, you just can't boost physical anymore. And since you're only getting like +2 to 3 every time, you can't really powerhouse one of your skills. So in the beginning, it feels really fun, but it's a lie. So by the time you get 20 hours in the game, you're like, oh yeah, it won't let me boost physical anymore. So it's making me balance my stats out. And so it's basically just whatever stats they give you. You don't really get to do anything with it. The leveling system is essentially fake. Like fake as in you don't have any additive to it. They level you how they want you to level.
It's an illusion of choice.
It's absolutely an illusion. There's because I was like, I'm going to start doing this, and at the end, there was a point at the end of the game where, unless it's like I just got unlucky and it's the same thing. It might not be based on what you pressed. It might be based on they have it like per level, like levels 5 through 10. You can choose strength, but beyond that, you can't. But either way, like at the end of the game, it was just not showing up. It might be capped. And I have like the VODs to prove it, but there was a point where like I only want to put it in physical, and it didn't show up for like the last 5-6 levels I got. When the game level cap is 30, and I finished it at like 26 or something, I beat everything in it at that level. So like, it doesn't make any sense. It's completely stolen from you. There's no real like they steal it from Super Mario RPG, and then they don't do it well. They don't actually let you like have choice with it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The game had a lot of potential. It had a cool combat system, but execution at the end of the day, it prevents it from being one of the greats. It's still probably better than most RPGs just because of what it stole.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. We say you
can look past a shitty story.
Yeah, we say this. My recommendation once I got to the end was to not play it. I said it's not worth it to look past the shitty story. If you don't need closure and you can play it until the Sea of Stars segment comes up and then quit the game, it's really good. It's great up until Garl dies. If the game ended there, I honestly would have liked it. There were still some shitty parts, but they fucking ran it into the ground the entire second half, and there was almost no redeemable features in the second half. And for that, I can't recommend it. I literally don't recommend it. And on that note, I want to give a shout out to Vizer, Vizer, that I found in the Steam reviews, who has 16 hours on record that says not recommended, and he says I was a backer for this game. This guy paid them and still didn't like it.
Oh.
He actually really liked this. He says they focused too much on the spectacle of the game when it really needed more time on the gameplay and story. And that is pretty on the nose there. He nailed it.
Yeah, good job, Vizer.
He nailed. He's like a lot of the times
wasting your money on Kickstarters, though, you idiot.
I know you fucking
doing?
Dumbass. You got owned. They fucking took your money, made a dog shit product with it. You stupid bitch. He says too many times characters respond with question marks when they're confused. It's like the fucking, I love talking about this, but the Futurama thing that has forever perfected this, where in the final episode of the original run of Futurama, where the devil sees the character, goes, you can't just have their characters say how they feel. That makes me angry.
Yeah, that's classic.
Like, I think about that all the time. And now I literally, every time someone says that in a game, they're like, I'm mad. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like legit, they nailed it there. There has never been a more like spot on dismissal of writing than to have your characters just say how they feel.
I found Vizer's review myself. It says, another reviewer described it as being a modern internet casual style of writing, and that perfectly encompasses it. Mm-hmm. He says it looks like they're writing on Discord instead of being adventurers in a magic world. Jesus Christ, Vizer.
He went in, dude.
Check out Vizer's review.
This review
Steam.
actually slays, dude. I should start writing reviews again because I write like this when I get into it. The two main characters have no personalities or aspirations beyond adventure. Yay. The game is lacking in emotional impact.
Yeah, Vizer's right on the money.
No, okay, so this guy's a dickhead though, because this is the same group of people that made The Messenger, and he goes, writing was a weak point of The Messenger too, though, so I didn't expect much. So he knew it was gonna be bad, and he's like, I guess I'll pay them anyway.
Yeah, you went in with a Kickstarter for him. Like, come on, bro, have some self-respect.
Come on, dude. The relic system is unbelievably lazy design. It puts the onus of designing and balancing the game on the player. He's. We gotta get Vizer on. I should have fucking. Dude, I should look through reviews and see if these people want to come on land-based a game with us. Imagine I got Vizer and he's like, yeah, fuck this game. And a secret guest.
Yeah, shout outs to Vizer.
He actually
put it in on him.
He really did put it in on him. Dude,
There's a
this
chance you can
rules.
find an honest
Dude,
review.
the last thing he says, edit. The game's also still got bugs, so save often. Here's a hard lock, and there's a clip of a YouTube video. I'm watching it. Hold on. Okay, what happens here? Is he talking? No. What is he showing here?
Yeah, I'm watching as well.
Oh,
I don't know.
dude, they go down a waterfall and Garl doesn't appear with them at the bottom of it.
Oh yeah, he just doesn't have him.
Oh, and then the battle just stops. They get attacked after the first round, and the battle options never. Oh wait, no, it comes up. But is he? I watch it go for. Oh yeah, he attacks and then it just glitches out. It must have been like Garl's turn or something, like forced. There's just a point where he's in a battle and no options are selectable.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they're all like having a seizure now.
Yeah. What the fuck is my cat doing? Jesus Christ, it's making too much noise. Yeah, so dude, Visor's a legend for that.
Yeah, way to go.
Damn, there's 5,000 reviews on this. Yeah, reviews are like.
Yeah, this game came out a month ago.
The reviews now are like Facebook. Steam has turned into Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like anybody can post a review.
Mm-hmm. And it's all just trying to get likes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this guy that gets 6 funny tags on it for saying my favorite part is playing Moonerang. He's probably like, dude, he's probably showing that off to his friends. Dude, they love this over on the Steam review, dude. There's another one. Dude, there's no way. This guy has 69 hours on record in the game. When did he write this review? Posted August 29th. When did it come out?
It came out August 29th.
Did it? Did he review it the day it came out?
It came out August 30th. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong game here. Yeah, it came out August 29th, 2023.
So the day it came out, this guy wrote, Misanthrope82 wrote, if Super Mario RPG and Chrono Trigger had a child, it would be Sea of Stars. Gorgeous pixel art, great soundtrack. It's so funny because that's why I said drives people to say this game is good. The art and the music, they all said it, and this guy could not have played this. I don't think he even played the game. This is insane to me.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. That was a. He wrote this with 4 hours on review, and so that was like for some reason you have to click on the review to get the whole thing. It doesn't tell you that, but he also wrote engaging combat, good storytelling, and likable characters. He wrote this 4 hours into the review.
Oh my god, dude. There are people that got the game like pre-release, like it must be Kickstarter people, and they have reviews from before it came out.
Dude, I'm loving the reviews here. Someone responded to this guy's review, and now I hate this idea that it's like Facebook, but at least we get gems like this. Frank Nowhere said, if Fortnite, PUBG, the Die Hard trilogy, and Chrono Trigger had a child, it would be Sea of Stars. That's so good. These people, dude, there's no way they actually did this. I would love to see how old this guy's account is. The beginning has that same mystical aura that washed over me the first time I played Chrono Trigger on my SNES in August 1995 on my 16th birthday. What the fuck, dude? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's horse shit. You can tell it's a fake review because they talk about themselves and they have like a whole story to tell rather than actually talking about the content of what they're reviewing.
Like when my dad came home from the cheese factory, he would beat me.
Yeah.
My only form of solace was playing Chrono Trigger. This made me remember playing Chrono Trigger. Then play Chrono Trigger, you shithead. It still exists. This game sucks cock.
Yeah, I honestly think that was like a fake review. Like a bot or something.
I think they all are, dude. It has 5,000 reviews. These people are either brain dead or I don't understand how you could enjoy this game. Like you can't play the entire thing. Like people this guy says, after around 40 to 50 hours. Okay, wait, what the fuck? This guy wrote this review. Can you edit these? So he posted it August 29th and then updated August 30th. He had 2 hours of review time. He has 16 hours total, and he wrote, after around 40 to 50 hours of game time, I can confidently say that Sea of Stars is a must-play title for every RPG lover. He has 16 hours on record, and he wrote this at 2 hours in. How did 100...
He's either full of shit, or he played it on a different platform.
Yeah, 102 people found this review helpful?
Yeah, who knows? It's all horse shit.
It is, dude. Steam, this is unfortunate, dude. Steam used to be good. People just they're talking in this guy says, Garl the goat, not gonna lie. That's just a review. But it's like this shouldn't be allowed. Like legit, you should be not allowed to post reviews if you post a joke review like this. Also, like this is just speaking in like
Internet lingo.
yes, in modern internet lingo. If I hear someone in real life go, dude, that's goated, I think I'm going to feed you to a goat while you're alive. Stop saying shit like that.
Yeah, they've really like exposed the actual value of these reviews from like regular people.
Mm-hmm.
This is how valuable they are, which is not at all. That's why there's 5,000 of them, and I'd wager that 4,000 of them are like one line or two lines that are trying to get a joke vote. Like,
Yeah,
there's
something.
no point. And this is how it's always been. Like, you can think about how the if a game's below a 7, you think it's an absolute pile of shit. Like if like back in the day,
Yeah,
like when the only people doing reviews were like magazines like IGN and GameSpot. Back then, if the game was a 7 or below, it was shit. So 7 became the average. For an average game, they'd call it a 7. Even though average is obviously 5 because that's how numbers work. But they would always be like, oh, 7, that's an average game. A 9, that's a good game.
mm-hmm.
And a 10 was supposed to be rare, but these modern gamers, they don't know anything. And so when you let them give a review, they're all going to give it a 10. They're all going to say it's great
Well, I
because they
do
haven't
think
played
like
anything before.
again, like I've taken. Not that you have to take like school classes to do this, but like I have studied how to do writing well on top of like my knowledge of gaming and my background and all this stuff. And there's even times when I will do a review on a game on my website or whatever, and I start to do it and I go, this game, like after a while I go, this game isn't that deep. It doesn't really even need a review. Like there's some games that just don't even require it. It's really just like, don't play this because it's not very good. There's not enough really to extrapolate on or say this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. And the only thing about Sea of Stars that you can extrapolate on is that it squanders all of its potential that it stole from other games.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like there's no like the reviews aren't. It's not like you don't need a full-time review. You don't need 20 paragraphs. Most of the time spent in this was me describing the game. But if you've played it, you wouldn't even need to understand like that part. But like these, if there's, I don't understand how these people don't have the same gripes as me. How can you go through the part with the fucking artificer and be like, yes, this is good storytelling? You've got to have a child's mind.
They do.
And a child's
Most of these
penis.
people are legitimately children.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a video game. It's marketed toward children primarily. I mean, look at this idiot. Keen Frizzle says, in one word, I would call this game refreshing. You don't know what the definition of refreshing is. This is derivative.
Oh
You,
my
like,
God.
you need to sit down and read a dictionary before you are allowed to play video games, and especially allowed to review them.
And you know what? Also, like a lot of like modern YouTube reviewers have poisoned people's mind where they don't know like actual reviews of the game. They know like buzzwords from videos they've watched. And we used to talk about this all the time when Ego Raptor or whatever the fuck put out his like sequelitis things, and then people would just quote that about every single game. And so
Yeah.
like this one says Vagabond wrote, "This game is beautiful. The lighting is sublime. If you're like, I don't notice lighting in video games.
It's an RPG. It's like a 2D pixel art RPG. You're
Yeah.
gonna say the lighting is bad? Did they use ray tracing in this fucking SNES wannabe?
Yeah,
Get the
it's
fuck
like,
out of here.
it's again. What do you mean the lighting? It's like they just program
That's
in.
unbelievable.
It's like it doesn't make any sense. It's not like it's dynamic. They of course it's like a piece of art. It's static. They make it that way. It's like they can. It doesn't make any sense. But even if the lighting is really good and it's like a feat the way that they light things, who gives a shit? The lighting should be good in every fucking game. I need to see what's going on. It's not a point that they got good lighting. It's like, oh yeah, I pressed the A button and it worked every time. It's like that's like no shit, dude. Like these are not, but this is clearly, I can, as soon as I see that, I go, this person doesn't care about the lighting. They've watched 50 YouTube reviews that talk about the lighting, and there's this dickhead on YouTube that goes, oh, I need to flesh my videos out to be 12 minutes or else I'm not gonna get that ad revenue. So they go, and look at the lighting in this, and there's a 5-minute segment where they talk about the lighting.
That is like, to talk about the lighting in Sea of Stars is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like a Halo game where
Exactly.
like the graphics fucking might even matter. Like it's not even close. It's literally an SNES era style
Mm-hmm.
JRPG. Like it's not even that blows my fucking mind.
Yeah. The
Let's
lighting.
talk about the lighting.
Is that the game is
Holy
beautiful, the
shit.
lighting is sublime. It's like, again, it doesn't make any sense. It's not a real review. You don't have consciousness. This is something that you saw and regurgitated about another thing. You are not actually, you are not experiencing the same game that I am. There's something wrong with your mind. I can't
He doesn't
believe
have
this
a
shit.
conscious experience in this universe. Like this guy's a robot
These
that just
people are,
regurgitates everything he's ever read.
they're all unconscious. I can't believe it. They're not
These
like not
people are all
literally. Like, we need
they're
another.
all
We need
these
another
people are legitimately just large language models that
Yes.
have just been released onto the internet with screen names like Keen Frizzle, and they're gonna pretend that they're real humans. I don't believe you.
If anyone remembers Yick, a postmodern
5,000 reviews.
RPG, wrong, bitch. No one remembers that game. Shut the fuck up. This review says comparison is the thief of joy. That's it.
Yeah, and experience is the enemy of ignorance. Who gives a shit?
See, like shit like this. Garl is a sweet baby cinnamon bun, and I would die for him. He's not even that good. Garl shines because everyone else in the game is so flat. He's the only one that's like a normal, half decently written character. He's not even that good. This is so funny to me too. I give it a 7.8 out of 10. This person has never once in their life, I guarantee you, done something with the accuracy of 7.8 out of 10. There is no reason to have a point 0.8 on there. What
Yeah,
the
get
fuck
over
are you
yourself.
talking about?
They didn't. There's no way some Steam reviewer has like a a list of criteria and they actually
No.
reviewed the game in depth.
This
Like,
guy does not have like a metric that he can. He's not going off a fucking rubric, dude. He made up. This is gonna sound again completely unconscious. 7.8. What the fuck do you mean, dude? It's not between numbers, dude. First of all, this game's a 4, so you're way off. I mean, I'm sorry. It's a 4.20
no
out of
God.
6.9, dog.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a real rating. No way! Oh, I can't have to stop reading this. I'm gonna blow my brains out. This guy said this is the Chrono Trigger 2 we deserved.
Oh my God.
And then here's
Please exit yourself.
okay,
That
okay.
person should be trapped into in a haunted house for
Spoutnik,
eternity.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. I will find you and kill you. This is not a fake gaming threat. This is real. If you if you think this is the Chrono Trigger 2 we deserved, I will take you off the face of this planet, dude. You're done.
Oh God.
I gotta stop reading these. I'm gonna have a brain aneurysm. I mean, that's really the gist of it. It's just that those people are the one driving the metric of like reviewing games. This game is gonna be seen as a success because it has 5,000 positive Steam reviews and sold 1 billion copies out the gate, and it is. I don't know if they did this on purpose. Maybe this is the smartest thing they did, but they made the first 15 hours really good and then backlogged it with trash so that they know that most people won't finish the game and they're going to get good reviews because they only played the good part. If they did that, it's smart in a sort of diabolical fashion. It'd be like very anti-gaming, but I think most people these days are like anti-gaming. They don't really consume a lot of games. They like to say very positive things about games even when they deserve to be, lambasted. They're not. This game is not very good. It doesn't outshine itself. It really lets itself down. For all the good that it builds up, it completely crashes it in the second half. No follow through, no original ideas really. I mean, I can't really say any good things about it, and I want to because the combat is pretty neat, and I enjoyed it for a 10-hour portion of the 30-hour playthrough. It's a shame.
Yeah, I can only say that this game should have came out like 13 days later, so it could be out on the same day as 9/11.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I'm gonna release a game on 9/11. And it's gonna have a lot of like allegories to like the Twin Towers, but I'm not gonna like I'm gonna allude to it, but not say it outright. And then people are gonna be like, they're not gonna get it. They're not gonna understand it. It's gonna be so cool, dude. And one person's gonna be like, "What's up with all the 9/11 stuff?" I'm gonna say, "Huh?" People don't get that shit, dude. They do not understand like nuance or anything really. They just
Yeah, they'd be like, "Yo, did you play that new game? It's called Messages to the World."
And the main
No one's
character
gonna.
is called the Taliban. They're like, dude, I don't. This is a weird name. They don't get it.
He's like, yeah. I wonder what lore they're drawn from.
I wonder. Yeah,
Is that ancient Greece?
this is the Chrono Trigger 3 we deserve. Yeah, I don't
This is
get.
the
It
Pearl
makes
Harbor
me.
2 we deserve.
I was saying this the other day. It makes me like games that I wasn't super keen on. Like I liked Chained Echoes, but I really sort of went in on Chained Echoes about the things I didn't like. And now it is so much better in comparison to Sea of Stars, especially when I feel like they took a couple ideas from it, which I don't know if that's true because it's very new. But um, and maybe they took all their other ideas, but it makes me like now I'm like, should reviews exist in a vacuum? Because now I want to like give a better review to Chained Echoes and that other game like Fell Seal I played. I was like, oh, this is good, but I was pretty harsh on it too at the time, and I was like, damn, I would play these games again in a heartbeat to get away from the dog shit that is Sea of Stars.
Yeah, that's what it is sometimes.
And so I wonder, I was
Another
like,
thing I've noticed, these long RPGs, a lot of times they just like overstay their welcome, even
yeah,
if the combat's good. Even if the combat's good,
mm-hmm.
like I remember I played through Tales of Berseria. It's the only Tales of game that I've played. But by the time I got to like the last couple dungeons, I was like, ugh, all these fucking enemies have so much HP.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go through this long ass random battles. Like this shit is just annoying. Like even though for the first 30 hours of the game, I'm like, man, this combat's so fun. I can't wait to get into a fight. By the time you get to the end, you're like, ugh, I
Yeah,
gotta do my combo 100 times in a row to beat this fucking random enemy.
exactly. There's an upper limit to it, and it's sort of like the deeper your main thing goes, the more that is involved with it. It goes back and forth because there's less stuff involved. It gets boring quickly, but it probably has longevity because at least you could sort of like mindlessly get through the battles. But when you have to pay attention in all of them, like in Fell Seal and in Chained Echoes and in this, where it's like, oh, they're sort of like an active component to it. At the end, I'm like, yeah, I'm tired of this. Yeah, the combat is good, but still, even at the end of Sea of Stars, I'm like, I don't want to fight anymore. I'm getting bored.
Yeah, and I didn't have that feeling in Chrono Trigger. I didn't have that feeling in like Final Fantasy VII. I didn't
No,
have that feeling in
no.
Final Fantasy VI.
It's so crazy. Those are the
or
exact two things
or
I
even
was
Breath
thinking
of
of
Fire.
when you brought it up. I was thinking exactly of Final Fantasy VII. I was like, it's a little bit more like it's not as in depth, but at the end of seven, I was still having fun going through Northern Crater and killing enemies.
Yeah,
And like
yeah,
Chrono Trigger has perfect pacing. I mean, I don't know if there's a game with better pacing than Chrono Trigger. You don't have to grind. You can go through just the main story the entire way, and you're like perfectly leveled for it. So it like really doesn't wear out as welcome if you just go through it. Um, and again, that's like very basic in a way. You have physical attack, magic, and then some combos, but it's like that's it. It's not like deep. So the I mean that's just well designed with like enemy design then at that point where it's like, oh, do they have gimmicks or do they have this or whatever, just a lot of HP or you have to manage it better. But like you're exactly right. Even with Fell Seal, I said the same thing. I loved Fell Seal, had a really awesome battle system, but when you do it for 30 hours, you're gonna like, I'm tired. I'm like, I don't want to go through another 10-minute battle and do this and do that. Like I don't. It's fucking annoying at this point.
yeah. It was pretty rough in Tales of Berseria because you could see there was one of those games where you're on like a 3D map and you can you run into an enemy and that's how battle starts, right? You can see the enemies in
Mm-hmm.
front of you. You know where they are, so you're just looking. You're like, oh man, there's like 15 enemies between here and the next like door. It's 15 fucking battles. They're all gonna take like
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes. It's like, ugh. It's like but you're at the end of the game, so you're like, I can't even like get anything new. So like,
Yeah.
then you start to realize like, oh, the whole time this game was kind of just like keeping me hooked with Skinner boxes because I was like, oh, a new ability, oh, a new level up. But now I'm at the point where I've got everything. It's the
Yeah.
end game.
They sort of
Nothing to look forward to.
yeah, they sort of cheated their own system where it was like, oh, is the reason you keep fighting is because you want an upgrade of some sort, and that was like a big draw there. And then when it doesn't exist anymore, I say the same thing about Dark Souls too. When you have no reason to like increase, you're at a high enough level that you know you can beat the game. You have really good equipment, or like your equipment can't go any higher. You know you can beat it with this, or you know you'll have to beat it with this. Using you look behind the veil and you just know that. So you're like, well, now what? I don't want to fight anything until the end. Why the fuck would I? I get no benefit from
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
And then so at that point you have to go, does your combat hold up well enough that just the combat on its own merits is fun enough? And most games are a no. It's not like I'm not having fun doing these fights.
Yeah, without something to be gained, most of the time it's just like shallow and it's
Yeah.
just not worth the effort. It's like, why would I fight anything? Is fighting its own reward? No. Then why would I?
Yeah, then I'm not exactly. Then I'm not being rewarded, and that's the sort of same thing where they sort of get it. And again, even still with that, like it's is fighting its own reward, kind of in Sea of Stars. But then after a while, you just go, no, I mean, I'm not enjoying blasting through mobs when I have all the best equipment. I literally just want to beat the game. Like, can I
Yeah.
just go fight the final boss, please?
Yeah, I think maybe if they still you have to ignore the story, but maybe if Sea of Stars was cut in half, there wasn't that whole Sea of Stars part.
Oh shit.
then then I think it could be a lot better.
Yeah, I mean that's a lesson in length of your games. Why is it that long? Who decided? Like again, there's no like storyboard for this, right? Is there QA on the length? You're telling me that they played like who tested this and said like who went through the second half and was like, yeah, this is like needed. It was bad. I didn't enjoy a moment of the second half of the game, and I did it exclusively because I was already there, and they got me hooked because I was like, well, there can't be much left, and I was 20 hours in,
Yeah,
and so
that's
yeah.
how they get you. You're like, well, I'm close to the end. Let me just finish it.
I normally don't like quitting, but again, that's what they did. Like that was their highlight, where the beginning was good enough, where I was like, "Fuck," I made it like far enough where it's like I might as well just get to the fucking end of this dumbass game, and then, and like most games, I tap out before that. I almost tapped out on this several times because, like I said, the intro cut, like the intro flashback was so bad, such a horrible design decision. Again, when you talk about like games having awesome beginnings, I just look at Final Fantasy VII, probably the best opener to an RPG of all time. I think Chrono Triggers is honestly really good too because it has like a little bit of exposition and dumb stuff, but the festival is kind of neat. Like the way they handhold you through it is fun, and then you get fucking teleported to a random thing in time. You're just dropped in the woods. Fuck, I want to play Chrono Trigger right now. That intro rules,
Yeah, it does.
dude. That's so hard. You just get dropped in the woods, and you're like a guy with a sword, and you go to a castle, and dude, it's so sick. And then like the intro of this is like you just watched a fucking 30-minute flashback of Garl getting stabbed in the eye and the kids doing push-ups and shit. And I was like, yeah, this rules.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to bring up that I thought of. They they went back in time. They were like, let's do make it the way old RPGs used to be made. You know what's good about new RPGs, like especially if there's a 30-minute fucking cutscene, you press one button to skip it, maybe
Uh-huh.
two. But now, like they were like, let's go back to the old shit where you have to press A 100 times because you have to press A through every line of dialogue now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it used to be. There's a reason that now the whole cutscene is all contained into one little package. That if you want to skip it, you just maybe you press start twice, or
Yeah.
maybe you have to hold A button down and
Exactly.
it'll skip it.
It's not gameplay. The most of the stuff you do, like I said, there's no fighting, there's nothing going on. You're not collecting anything, you're not looking for treasure, you're not exploring an area. You meet a guy, you talk to him, he says go here, you go here, you watch another you go through texts while you skip to the next segment, and you do that for 20 minutes straight. It's
Yeah,
diabolical. No
it's
story is good enough. I don't want to read a fucking book right now. You have to do this in smaller segments.
yeah, that's the problem with old RPGs. They had it in all of them. Like
It's,
the Final Fantasy games have them in spades. Where like, oh, you go
yeah.
meet Sid and you have to press A
I mean, even
for 20
still,
minutes while he tells you about being a frog or
probably
whatever the fuck.
my least favorite part of Final Fantasy VII is when you first get to Calm and they do that entire flashback, and you
Yeah,
just
you're
know
just
there's like a
reading.
long segment of you reading a ton of stuff and having the characters talk to each other, and it's like again like 15 minutes. But I mean that game has so much flanking it there that it's like I don't even really fucking think about it. I'm like as soon as I'm done with this, I get to fight more people. But this is like to start the game. It's like you
Yeah,
and again they do the opposite of good gameplay design where you start off and you fight. The first thing you do is you run into a map, you fight like a couple monsters, like this is fun, and then you do a flashback that's completely not needed. You could have just started the game from the flashback because the flashback ends where you start playing the game. It's not like it goes 10 years back. You do 10 years of exposition and then it ends when you're like, let's go to the mountaintops. And then the game starts when you're like walking into the mountaintops or whatever. It's like legit takes you to it makes no fucking sense why they do a flashback. Again, it's like what's cool in games when they do flashbacks? I honestly I cannot now it's bothering me. Why do they do that? You start the game and then they
I
go
think
10
it was
years
like
prior.
shit. I think it was like from their shitty fucking game design school that they went to online
Yeah.
that said you need to make the tutorial last, which is like a tenet of game design. So they were like, all right, we made the game. How do we fit the tutorial in here? Let's do a flashback, and then we'll teach them how to fight there. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
they had already started teaching you how to fight by having you fucking
Yeah,
do
I
it.
don't think you need to be taught how to fight in games like this. Like when you open up a battle menu and it says attack, like what the fuck else am I gonna do, dickhead? It's a button menu. There's nothing else I can do. And when they teach you how to do timed hits in Mario, it literally they come up and Toad goes, "You want me to teach you about timed hits?" And you can just say no
Yeah.
and fucking skip it. Why didn't they steal that part? The timed hits in this are like the character is saying it. You want to press A at the right moment. And then the character's like, "Oh my god, I almost got it." And they go, "Try again." Like, dude, I'm not fucking simple. Like I have all my brain cells. Can I just play the fucking game? I'll figure it out. But then there's like, when you have a tutorial like that too, it's even worse when there's unexplained stuff because they don't tell you, like they explain it on skills that are like, they're skill prompts where it's like, it's like it'll prompt you. It'll say press A at the right time to deflect this for
Yeah.
more hits. And they show you in the tutorial that you can do it on regular hits. But then they don't tell you that moves without prompts also have timed hits. And I didn't figure it out until like halfway into the game because why would I experiment on this when you tell me that these have timed hits and then this doesn't have a prompt? I'm like, I guess some of them just don't. And then one time I got it and I was like, oh, they had it the whole time and I was not trying.
Yeah, they just kind of took it for granted that, like, back in the day, I remember in Super Mario RPG, they didn't tell you that every single thing had a timed hit, but you always tried. Like, there's nothing else to do, so I'd always press the button.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out, like, Gino's one attack had a timed hit that they never mentioned that does 9999 or something.
Yeah.
So, like, they knew as gamers, but not as game designers, that people might try. But they never thought about it. Like, they didn't think it through enough to, well, we told them how to do everything else, so we should tell them this. Otherwise, they're not going to think it because we didn't tell them.
You know what sometimes they say like, when have you ever listened to like a really complex piece of music and it's not super pleasing to the ear, but you can understand it's extremely technically difficult, and you'll listen to like someone review it and they say this is music made for musicians, and you understand the skill behind it, right? Where like you're like,
Right.
oh, this is super complex. It doesn't sound great really as a song, but I understand these are a bunch of really talented people doing incredible stuff. But you're like, I'm not really gonna listen to it because I'm not a musician. I don't give a fuck. This is the opposite. This is a game made by gamers, and they don't understand what the fuck they're doing. They just put
Right.
all the stuff that they want into a game without making sure it's like good.
It's like a group of people get together to make a song, but they have to ask you, like, do you write the music or the words first?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
just don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They go, dude, I
But they all
love
think they
games.
can.
What do I love about games? Timed hits were cool. Let's put them in. And then they like stole that and it was cool. And they're like, stories are cool too. Let's put them in. And then they're like, wait a minute. How do we do this part? I don't get it. So when so like, you know, in Chrono Trigger, when like, you know, like Chrono, you know, everyone likes him. So how do we do that part?
Yeah.
So what do we do? And everyone's like, just shrugs their shoulders and like, oh, I guess we just won't do it. Fucking dumb pieces of shit. I hope this
Yeah,
studio burns to the ground.
That really sums it up. It's like stories. Let's put one of those in. That really sums it up really
It's
well.
like, okay, we got the gaming. What do we got next? The story? I didn't really research this part. Should we just wing it? And you can't wing a story. You have to be a good writer. It's a honed skill.
Yeah, but they clearly winged it.
There is no one, dude. No, they're like, dude, we're gamers, dude. We've seen stories before. We could do it. And they're like, it honestly felt, now that I talk about it, we dissect it for a minute. It felt like they're like, well, we just jacked all the combat mechanics. Why don't we just jack the story? And they're like, okay. And they're like, well, what do we do about how they talk? And they go, and then they ship it. There is like no.
Here's like I got a perfect example here. So I'm on the Wikipedia page for Sea of Stars, and all the way down in the notes section, it says the transformed Brugraves is also the demon Barmothazel, an antagonist in the video game The Messenger. You think they planned that out, or were they just like at the very last second?
God.
Oh fuck! What do we do with that Brugraves guy? Make him the demon from the other video game. They just like shoveled that in at the last second.
That's their
There's
other
no
game.
way. Yeah, that's their other game. It's like a Ninja Gaiden.
That's so scummy. It's like, why are you doing fan service to your other fucking shit dog game that eats ass and no one played? Who is this for? You're doing
Yeah,
fan service to your old
who
game.
gives a shit?
This is so self-congratulatory. You suck dick. No one knows who that demon is. Who is this
Yeah,
for?
no one
I'm
gives a
so
shit.
pissed off. That's actually like makes me even more mad. There are no fans of the messenger, dude. You did not need to do this. It's like that's such a dumb crossover. Oh my god. I actually take back the good things I said. These people deserve to have this game fucking crash and burn. I never should have played it.
They have a history of, it seems, going and making games from old genres in the old style. This game, The Messenger, it's a straight up clone of Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, it's bad
Like,
though. I played the messenger and I quit like 5 hours in. I was like, this sucks dick. It couldn't even grip me enough. Like they couldn't even steal Ninja Gaiden good enough for me to finish it.
Yeah, it looks like an NES game. Like
It's
it looks
bad.
like a
No,
pile
it
of
plays
garbage.
like shit. And then they also do a thing in that where I thought I was at the end of the game because you're like, they're like, and this is like 5 hours in. They're like, you have to kill this boss, and then you go to his temple, and then you get like warped through time. And I was like, oh my god! I had like a revelation. Where I was like, there's so much left of this shitty game. I was like, I can't do this.
No.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Well, there you go. They tied it all together by linking their shitty game to this game.
To their other
So
shitty
everyone-
game that they made that no one played.
If you really look into the lore, you could tell this game's shitty too. But most people don't look into the lore.
They're like, we wrote another bad game. Do you want to like tie in some of those elements that the other dog shit story in our Ninja Gaiden ripoff? And they're like, yes, that makes a lot of sense. What do fans like the most? Fan service, baby. It's right there in the name.
Yeah, there you go.
Honestly, like
Figure it out.
the best part of this game was when I accidentally stumbled upon the backer thing, the in-game Kickstarter backer segment where they all had these statues, and clearly the people that paid the most could like say stuff, and I read like all of them, and they were all horrible except for two. The one guy said, "I'm resistant to weather," which is very funny.
Yeah, it is.
I hope that was Visor.
Oh, I hope so.
I hope he said that. I should have found Visor's thing. But like, dude, that was so bad too. Like they had to spend all this development time fucking putting in every single one of their backers, which is such a like a weird. That's another parasocial thing too. You're like, dude, I backed this game and I need to. I'm not backing it because I enjoy the game. I'm backing it because I want proof that I did when they put me into the video game itself, and it's gonna have my username, and I'm gonna show everyone that I backed it in the game. Who fucking gives a shit, dude? Again, it's like more dumb bullshit. Not everyone like. You don't need all the backers in there. I don't give a fuck who backed this game.
Yeah, put them in the credits if
Yeah.
you want. That's all I want to see from this shit. Like, it just speaks to, like, we'll put anything in the game if you pay us enough fucking money.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. So it's just like, that didn't need to be in the game. It didn't add anything to the game. It wasn't for the game.
No.
It was for these idiots to feel better about themselves.
Yeah. It's like,
I
oh.
feel like they actually got something.
Well,
for
no,
wasting
that's
their
like the
money.
scummy. That's like the next evolution of backing games on Kickstarter now is, well, in the beginning it used to just be, oh, if you paid the $500 tier, we'll name a fucking character after you or whatever. And now it's like literally every one of you is going to be in this game because they know they're going to fucking pay it then.
Yeah.
And 99% of them was just a statue with your username on it or whatever. So it's like, this is so silly, dude. It's just another way to fucking nickel and dime people to make your shitty game.
Yeah, let's be really clear for people. Like, there was like 100 rooms.
It was
that
gigantic.
were filled with statues.
There
It
was literally
insane.
like thousands of backers. You couldn't have
every
like,
single one of them had a statue.
yeah. I gotta look this
But
up.
it still smacks of like a lack of effort really put into it because every room was just a carbon copy of the last room, and maybe some statue assets got moved and were different slightly.
Dude,
And
so
then there was like hundreds and hundreds of statues.
on their Kickstarter, they have 25,589 backers.
Yeah, I wonder how many of them had statues.
I'm gonna look at what the cheapest one that gets you a thing is. This is more. I want to. The exclusive. This is the thing you get for the $35 reward. An exclusive permanent backer title on our Discord. These all suck. Dude, these things. This is why they have to do it, because this is like the $60 tier. You get backer exclusive HD wallpapers, a digital copy of Sea of Stars, access to the private demo of the game, access to the private Discord channel with the devs, the digital art book, exclusive permanent super backer title in Discord. Your name in the super backer section of the credits. Commemorative grave with your name added. It starts at the $60 tier. So every
Jesus
tier
Christ.
above that. I actually have to see which. Oh, so the next one also just has commemorative grave. You get other stuff, but you don't get 60 gets a grave, 140 gets a grave, and this is about 8,000 backers so far, and everyone above that gets it. 500. Oh wait, no, this is something different. Does this get a grave? No. What are these? It's going in a weird order. Relief package. What the fuck is this? The messenger pack. You get a Steam key for the messenger. But you're just buying the game. It's $45 for that tier. There are so many people in this, dude. This is insane. Oh, let's see if this one has it. Our artists work with you on a 100% custom monument for the crypt. That started at $200 and 400 people paid for that.
Jesus Christ. People paid $200 for a bad Chrono Trigger 2.
This is so funny. There was one available for $2,000. You will design the Crypt Walker with us and choose its name. I don't even know who the Crypt Walker is. It was like a ghost or something that like... That's the highest tier 1. How are there so many statues in this game? I guess there's 8,000 at least in there.
Jesus Christ. That's so many.
Yeah.
And they just stuffed it all into the game. It didn't belong there. It didn't help anything.
Oh, there's 400 in
just,
here. Oh, yeah.
If you want to talk about immersion, it broke your immersion because they let them write these stupid messages on there.
Yeah, all of them write messages. And it'd be like, to my daughter, to Timmy, to Bucko, and to George. And I'd be like, what the fuck is this bullshit? So, yeah, at least 8,000 people had statues.
It was very out of place because people be writing in like leet speak and all this like internet lingo and have like bad spelling errors and shit like that. It just didn't fit with the game in any capacity. It was like clearly like a money grab move.
I mean,
it shows a lack of integrity.
I hate Kickstarters in the first place. It's insane that they raised 1.6 million Canadian dollars, dude, for this. This game took 1.6 million dollars to make. And there's no story. I mean, I do think that, I mean, if you're talking about 8,000 backers, there's 5,000 reviews. I have a hard time believing it's not just the backers that wanted to feel like their money went towards something valuable because they paid $140 to get a fucking statue in the game, so they go on Steam and give it a good review after 2 hours of play.
Yeah, that's for sure. They already spent money on it, so they don't want to admit that it was bad.
That it was bad, yeah. The one guy, Visor, is the only one that was like, yeah, I put money on this and it sucked cock. But... there's no, you know what I mean? If you're dropping $60 to $140 to $200 to $2,000 on the game, there's no way you're going to be like, oh yeah, it sucked. You're going to be like, dude, epic. It was Chrono Trigger times 10. It gave me a boner forwards and backwards. There's no way, dude.
Yeah, absolutely not.
That's so scummy. I'm in a fucking bad mood now, dude. I got to go play a good game to get my head right, dude. I got to fucking play Super Metroid or I'm going to have a meltdown today.
Yeah, dude.
I really need to. I'm so mad at Sea of Stars. No, this is what I said earlier, though. Like, I think some games didn't deserve reviews. I never did a review on Fell Seal or Chained Echoes because I thought they were really competent and pretty decent games. Had some pluses, some minuses. I didn't really feel like they were worthy of a review. I recommend playing both of them. They're good enough to complete. Beyond that, just play it and figure it out. They're not a bad game. But now I'm like, I want to go and review them because this game was such dog shit and capitalized on so many awful things that I want to say, like, give credit now to these other games that just by comparison to this game are masterpieces almost.
Yeah. It puts it on a new perspective.
It really does. I feel bad for being harsh to Chained Echoes and Fell Seal specifically because they have similar art styles, similar gameplay elements, but are 1,000 times better than this game in every regard. If you like, you know, top down, old school style RPGs, Chained Echoes does everything this game does, but better. The characters in Chained Echoes are great. There's a part in the beginning of that game where a guy gets put in a jail and the dude comes up to mock him and he's like, and the guy goes like, I'll fucking slit your throat. He like curses at him. I was like, this guy rules.
That does rule.
I remember being like, this guy's awesome. He's like, I'm gonna cut your fucking head off and shit like that. He's like, I'm gonna shit your brick out. I don't remember what he said, but I remember he cursed at him and also threatened his life, which I thought was cool. And that one line has more character and feel behind it than anything in this.
Yeah.
And they should be ashamed of themselves. Sea of Stars, dude, more like peeve crap. This game sucked, dude. All
Yeah,
right.
fuck Sea of Stars.
Fuck Sea of Stars, dude. We need better games out there. Stop backing games people. They would never been able to make this pile of shit if you can give them 1.6 million Canadian dollars, which are actually just the maple leaves of a tree. All right.
All right, dude. Shout out to the messenger. I hope he brings you messages to the world.
All right. Yeah. Bye.